Hi, my name is Amber Kivett, and I'm a certified licensed athletic trainer with certifications as well as specializing in sports performance, massage, bodywork, and fascial connective maintenance. Today, what I'd like to share with you is how you can use the Lifepro Fitness product line to help alleviate symptoms with plantar fasciitis. So plantar fasciitis affects about 10% of the total U.S. population, with 4 times as many women as men, mainly because of the ability that we wear high heels a lot. And 90% of all of those cases can be simply alleviated at home without any medical intervention whatsoever. So it's pretty cool when you think about it. When we look at how much plantar fasciitis costs the health industry as a whole, we have over 1 million doctor visits a year for plantar fasciitis cases, which estimates $284 million in healthcare costs going towards plantar fasciitis. A lot of doctors will prescribe custom orthotics, which run anywhere from $200 to $800 per pair. And many of those, there's a research study recently released that showed that custom orthotics, after 3 months of intervention, only 11% of those cases were actually alleviated of any foot pain, in fact, caused more foot pain. So a lot of times when my clients come in with custom orthotics, I'll actually take them out of their custom orthotics, turn on their feet, and get their feet sensing properly and the strengthening in their feet in order to take the pressure off the plantar fascia, or at least to build it up better, I should say. So the plantar fascia is the largest ligament in the human body, and in the foot alone, we have 25% of all the bones in the human body, with being 52 bones to be exact. That's a lot of bones in your foot. And so if you have a high arch, which 20% of the U.S. population has a high arch, then you're more prone to plantar fasciitis than somebody who's got a neutral foot. On the other end of the spectrum, 60 million Americans have flat feet. And so those who have flat feet have poor support in the bottom of their foot, which places a lot more pressure on the plantar fascia to do the work for them. So the plantar fascia, the job of the plantar fascia is to kind of create a springboarding effect in order to be able to move. It's kind of like a diving board. The harder you jump on a diving board that has a really good spring in it, the higher you go up into the air. If you get an old diving board that has a poor spring on it, you don't jump really high and it hurts when you hit the diving board. So the bottom of our foot is much the same. And in addition to that, we have 2,000 neuroreceptors or cells that directly communicate with the brain on how your body is sensing the ground and how your body should react to that. So before you make a decision to balance a certain way or bear weight on the bottom of your foot a certain way, your brain has already made that choice for you based on what it senses on the bottom of the foot. And most people who have plantar fasciitis, their feet are completely turned off because they're either in poor footwear or they're over manipulated by orthotics. So in understanding the human body on a very basic level, I'm just covering just this fascial chain. Okay, and this fascial chain is the superficial back line, and these are not muscles. This blue tissue is not muscles. This is connective tissue, and it starts on the bottom of the great toe, and it works all the way up the back side, crosses over the knee joint, all the way up to the back, and then comes up to the top of our head and attaches, boom, right here. So if you should be tight up here, which a lot of us carry a lot of our tension there, then it has to pull from somewhere. And easily enough, why not pull down at the bottom of the foot, because it's where everything starts. That's a good possibility. So you're going to find that a lot of the different techniques that I'm going to share with you today are going to involve loosening up the calf, loosening up the hamstrings, turning on the muscles and the structures in the bottom of the foot, and just making yourself aware of what you feel and how you stand. Okay? For individuals who are running, jumping, landing, or even staying on concrete all day, you're delivering 4 times your human body weight in force to that plantar fascia. And so that's why our poor feet get so tired the way that they do and we feel that pain. So chronic plantar fasciitis is months and months of the same tissue breaking down, and so you get a decrease in blood flow to that area. So if you've been suffering on and off for several years from plantar fascia or from plantar fasciitis, I've had several cases that have been healed through the different strategies that I'm going to show you here today. I think that covers most everything I wanted to share with you. It's a lot of information, a lot of statistics, but Good news is we can repair the plantar fasciitis, or not necessarily repair it, but we can minimize the pain associated with that condition. In fact, 90% of cases are alleviated at home, again, with no medical intervention whatsoever. So thank you to Lifepro Fitness for giving us these wonderful tools to be able to take our pains away without having to have an injection or take a magic pill. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to show you what you can do with the products in order to help alleviate with plantar fasciitis. Any combination of these different tools and tricks will help. There might not be one that works best for you versus others, so you kind of have to mess around with them a little bit and just see which ones help you more than others. And if you have any challenges with that, feel free to reach out to me and I can give you some tips or tricks of what you can do different if we need to. All right, so this is the Lifepro Fitness vibrating foam roller. I believe it's the Surge or Surger. I believe it's Surge. Anyhow, yeah, Surger. I discovered this shortly after I bought the whole body vibration platform for myself. And I used it with my clients initially for sciatica, which has been a great tool for alleviating sciatica. That's a whole different video. But for today, I'm going to show you how to use it in your calves and in your hamstrings properly so that you can lengthen out those tissues, because again, when we're looking at this diagram, we have a lot of structures here that are all connected as one. And so if your calves get tight, then it's going to pull from the bottom of the foot. If your hamstrings are short from sitting all day, then it's going to pull from the calf complex, and the list goes on. Most people who experience plantar fasciitis have pain initially first thing in the morning, later in the evening before they go to bed after they've been on their feet all day, or they experience it after sitting at their desk for a long period of time. And usually when you feel it, it's a deep throbbing pain. Some people can have sharp pain, and it's usually when you start walking after you've been relaxed for a period of time. So very, very uncomfortable condition, but I have personally suffered occasional cases of it, but you can usually alleviate them within a few days at the most. So anyhow, on to the foam roller. General guidelines with foam rolling: just roll 1 inch per second in order to be able to really tap into that connective tissue and the muscles. And you don't want to focus on foam rolling in one area for any more than about 30 seconds. Because you can shut things down, and we want to try and enrich activity in those areas. Okay, so I'm going to start over here on the floor, and I'm going to go sideways so you can see me better, but we're going to turn this on and flip the switch on the end and then start vibration. And there's several levels of vibration. I'm just going to start with the first level. And I'm just going to start right here at the very bottom of my ankle before I get to my heel bone, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to roll my foot inside to outside, okay? 3 or 4 times each direction, and then I'm going to roll up about 1 inch. I'm going to go side to side, nice and easy, and roll up. And you're going to find that you're really sensitive and sore in certain areas. And you might want to go back through with one of your massage guns if you have one and work those areas a little bit more to alleviate that tension or those tight tissues. So fascia doesn't get tight, it develops more tension. So with the bottom of the foot especially, there's a lot of musculature in the bottom of the foot that can cause some problems if it's not activated or if it gets too tight. So we're working the whole chain here, but we're going to start here in the calves, and I'm going to show you a really quick trick that you can do at home with a lacrosse ball for the bottom of your foot. And so again, I'm just working 1 inch at a time, rolling side to side. Now, if you're not feeling any relief from this, let's double stack, because double stacking, we're doubling the weight, and this is super, super sensitive. This is too much stimulation for me, so going back and forth. Now, after you go windshield wiper side to side, then you can roll forward and backward. Nice and easy, but again, about 1 inch per second. When you find a hot spot, you're going to very gently roll back and forth through it. Okay? And again, you can roll to the outside, rock and roll back and forth, just a little bit at a time. until you find the zones that are causing you more discomfort, okay? You can also go all over the hamstring, because again, the hamstrings cross over to the calves, so you want to make sure that we're addressing the whole chain, all right? So just rolling, I'm just going to go roll back and forth about an inch per second, and just little oscillations if I should find a hot spot, okay? So that is how you're going to use the serger for relieving plantar fasciitis on the bottom of the foot. 5 minutes max time is all you need for that. Then with the lacrosse ball, buy it at Walmart or Amazon for like $5, okay? This is a really good tool for using on the bottom of the foot, okay? And so all you're gonna do in order to create this whole chain of relief is you're gonna get to the base of the heel, and you're just gonna rock it back and forth, just kneading that tissue on the bottom of the foot, just a little, like we're talking about 1/4 inch at a time now, because we're talking about thicker tissue and smaller tissues, okay? So much smaller movements, okay? Most people, when they get to the arch, it's quite relieving. You can go side to side, you can go forward and backward, you can go on a diagonal, okay? You're gonna find that you're gonna be more sensitive to some versus the other. Where you're more sensitive, you're gonna ease into that mentally, meaning don't force yourself to experience that. Just do what you can do and see if that gets better the following day, okay? And you're gonna work all the way down until you get to the ball of the foot. I don't typically go beyond the ball of the foot because it's a pressure point. And so the ball of the foot, I'm gonna show you here, we've got point A, point B, point C on the heel. You're gonna stay here to here, okay? So that's the plantar fascia. So another great thing that you can do, I kind of demonstrated this in another video with just exciting the bottom of the feet. We're gonna get on the whole body vibration platform, and you're just gonna rock and roll back and forth with your foot, okay? So I'm going to adjust my camera here just a second, because I want to be able to use I'm going to show you another really cool trick that you're not going to learn anywhere else. You're going to get close to a wall, and I'm just going to choose P2 just for the heck of it. No specific rhyme or reason, you can use any program you want, but just opening and moving your feet. Okay, so I want you to think about opening your toes, squeezing your toes, opening your toes, squeezing your toes, okay? And I want you to just feel with the bottom of your feet and sense what's going on with your platform, okay? Now, right now, I'm on a super high speed, which is feeling pretty good, but I moved this close to the wall so that I could stand close to the wall for balance. But I'm just rocking and rolling back and forth, and I'm getting all these different therapies, vibrations through the platform while I'm rocking and rolling through a variety of different muscle actions. So all these muscles are now getting excited with what I'm doing. Okay? So make sure that you have some place close to balance onto if you need to for that part. All right? And you can go into a partial squat, like a quarter squat. And again, just loading your feet in different positions if you can. Because again, dorsiflexion is a lot of the reason for plantar fasciitis. And so if you can improve your shin alignment with the foot, it's going to help you in the long run, okay? So there's a little bit of how to use the whole body vibration for some relief. If you take your lacrosse ball, this is a bonus trick for you, okay? This is a bonus trick. This is like a lot of money to learn this trick, so I'm gonna give it to you here for free. But you're gonna put the ball between your ankle bone, so just below the ankle bone. You're gonna squeeze that ball, hold on to something if you need to, and you're gonna raise your heels, and you're gonna slowly come back down. So strengthening the calf complex is really important, and strengthening the bottom of the foot is really important. But a lot of people, when they go to stand on the stairs to do this, will roll out the ankles, and you're actually making the condition worse. So grab yourself a ball. It doesn't matter what kind of ball it is, whether it's softball, tennis ball, golf ball will not work very well, but racquetball, lacrosse ball, anything that you can squeeze. And you can even go above the ankle if you need to, but the goal is to keep the ball squeezed as you're going up and down so that you can isolate this muscle, because most people who have foot pain are not using that muscle, okay? So just going up and down. And you're gonna do this until you get tired. I tell people, my personal clients, when you start to feel a burning sensation in your calves or in the bottom of your feet, let's do 3 to 4 more. But I don't like to give a number or amount of time because everybody's so different. So this right here is probably one of my best kept secrets for fixing plantar fasciitis. Stay tuned for another video. I'll send in another video on how you can use massage guns to isolate, specifically on the bottom of the foot and the calves. But I don't want to share all that information on this video because we're already, a little bit of time into this. And I can easily take 20 to 30 minutes to show you how to do that with the massage gun. So stay tuned for another video on that. But if you have questions on plantar fasciitis or how to approach your treatments with the whole body vibration or the foam roller or the other Lifepro fitness tools, feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so much for your time today. Have a great day.